First about the impact of e-commerce on our business. And when I was preparing this panel, I was just looking at some numbers at Prologis. And I think it's quite astonishing. Only 5 years ago, when we looked at our portfolio, the share of e-commerce, e-leasing for the e-commerce sector was below 5%. It was around 3% every year, so quite limited. But nowadays, the share of e-commerce leases in a total new leasing on a portfolio is around 20% per quarter. So that's massive. Another, I think, interesting fact about the importance e-commerce has right now in our sector is about, for instance, Amazon. On a global level now, Amazon is our largest customer. So that's changed dramatically in comparison to, let's say, 10 years ago, where Amazon was a relatively smaller player, but now they are our largest customer. So a lot of trends happening in the market, and I think e-commerce right now, we really see this as a structural driver of demand for logistics product. So it is here to stay. That's clear for us. But of course, new trends evolve as well. And I think one of the more interesting trends are, of course, the technological trends, which you see in the market, like autonomous trucks. It's still in the early days. Everybody's still, and that, by the way, that's for e-commerce as well, but even for autonomous trucks is earlier in the days. I think everybody is kind of trying to invent the wheel. And I think one of the key questions I'm thinking about is about flexibility. How does you as an investor need to work with these kind of new innovations, and how do you need to adopt? And how do you need to adapt to these innovations to be attractive for your investors in your funds, but on the other side for your customers, of course?
Certainly the internet revolution has changed shopping habits forever. And as a result of that, e-commerce is a major player. If you look at GDP across Europe, 3% of that is covered with online retailing at the moment. So as was rightly said by one of the earlier panelists, e-commerce is here to stay. I think there's been a fundamental change, structural change in the way that that's impacted on the logistics market, and that's changed forever, and it's absolutely driving demand 100%. I think it's quite prophetic that earlier on there was a bomb scare just as we were about to do a panel on retail, and I think it's had a massive negative impact on a lot of what is happening on certainly the high street retail. So yeah, certainly the market for industrial has been driven, for logistics is being driven by e-commerce at the moment.